right? I got to watch this weekend's playoff game at our boardroom with Willis McGahee and a couple of the old former U guys. I know for you, as a Florida State guy, not great, but for me, it was super cool. Got to watch it with a bunch of the old guys, get to see them react in live action. It was great.
Oh, I bet they were talking all kind of trash.
They were.
I'd be curious to know how stressed out they were, because I'll say this. As somebody who likes offense, I like a lot of points. 0-0 at halftime, and then a game that really one touchdown was the difference.
Yeah.
I thought it was really an entertaining, ugly game, because it's the playoffs, so it's loser goes home, winner gets to keep competing for a national championship. But it felt like every play, you could have a pick six, you could have a fumble, you could have a touchdown. I was on my edge of the seat. I was working, but I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Like, just what was at stake? It felt huge, and because the defenses were so great, the win clearly had a massive impact on the passing games. But I thought it was really a fun game for what a lot of people might describe as ugly.
Right. That's what I felt like watching. I was like, wow, there is a lot going on for a game that seems like not much is going on. And you saw guys giving up their bodies. You could see how important it was to these guys. I mean, guys were, you said the hit at the goal line to kind of save the game. Guys are going out to save the game. You could see how just important it was to these guys. And you hope everybody's good going forward. But, man, what a great one. I actually played – Coach Elko was our D coordinator in college.
Nice.
So it was pretty cool to see him. He's come a long way from Hofstra, man. A nice long road and tough way out. But, man, what a game. There it is.
Yeah, that
man,
one there. Out cold. He's got the fencing where he's out. You can see his teammate is immediately calling over the trainers. I was surprised they didn't even review it for targeting. I'm glad they didn't. Like, I don't want to see a play like that impacted.
Sure.
And then, of course – this interception to seal it, another freshman for the Miami Hurricanes. They're sealing the win. It was a phenomenal game. What do you think of today's analytics mindset? Because I don't know if this came up in discussion while you're watching the game. I didn't consider it one time. But when it's 3-3, the Miami Hurricanes are driving down the field. Mark Fletcher had been awesome. He was up to 172 yards. And then they run the Malachi Toney, the little kind of wide receiver sweep around the side. Some people said he should have gone down at the 1, like taken a knee, not scored. And because Texas A&M was out of timeouts, they could have centered it up, kicked the field goal, and then there's no chance for a loser. You don't give them back the ball because they scored and there was a lot of time left. And then Texas A&M drives the length of the field and they had a chance to win the game. So this drives me nuts because there were a lot of armchair quarterbacks and some analytical nerds that have never played the game. It drives me nuts that were saying, "Oh, you should have taken a knee. You should have done the right thing there." I thought that would have been the dumbest thing ever. Their kicker was 1 for 4 on the day. I don't trust college kickers. I don't trust any kickers, but I don't trust college kickers even more in those windy conditions. We already saw a field goal blocked earlier from the other team. Like, it's dicey. I did not even cross my mind that they should have done that. Did anybody bring that up when you were watching it?
Not where I was at, but the 1 for 4 thing would have been the biggest thing for me. These guys are not professionals. These guys could crumble in a heartbeat. I'm usually a proponent of getting the points myself, but we have seen a couple of instances. I remember one in the Super Bowl where a guy had a chance to be a Super Bowl hero and score a touchdown. He goes down on like the 2. It's a smart play. You've seen it happen before. Guys get lauded for it. But yeah, in that instance, man, I'm going to go ahead and take those 6 and we're going to keep it going. Yeah, defense has been playing great. So.
That was my take the whole time. I didn't even cross my mind. Yeah. And Mario Cristobal, who's taken a ton of heat for game management situations being too conservative, I think he would have absolutely been raked over the coals if he had coached them to go down and they had played for the field goal and missed it. He would have been skewered. And like Miami, everyone would have been just ripping him. I thought he did the right thing. I thought you let your players play. And the way their defense was playing, they hadn't given up a touchdown all day. Yeah. They were dominant all afternoon. They had 5 sacks. Granted, they gave up some big plays, but again, they came up with a big play on defense to seal the win. So I had no problem with the strategy at all.
Same here. No problem at all. And that's one thing, man. You as a player at that level are coached up in every situation. That is one thing I don't recall ever being coached up. Like, understand you may go down with a couple of seconds left if the clock warrants it, and you could just kneel it out or kick a field. That's one thing we never really touched on.
No, the game has advanced to a place, I would say really in the last 5 years. I don't even think it's 10, but in the last 5 years, I've seen more situational football at the NFL and college football where you see players go down. Yeah. And then, of course, the people who are the most upset about it are the bettors because sometimes it's the difference between a cover and a loss or whatever. And they want to win by a touchdown as opposed to winning by 3. And that becomes a mess. Yeah. Every team now And I would say at every level, college and the NFL, they've got these services, these consulting services that they pay a lot of money for, and they have these books, like notebooks full of information. Some of it's probably on an iPad too, where it tells you exactly what you're supposed to do. So there's somebody that probably in that situation for the Hurricanes had it up and said, hey, should we take a knee here? Should we go down? And I don't know if that was a circumstance there because it was happening so fast.
Yeah.
But if it was a third or fourth down, almost all throughout a game, and you see the analytics pop on NFL, ESPN on Monday Night Football, on college football, it'll say analytics say you should go for it here on fourth down. You should, punt it here on fourth down. Teams are more attuned to the analytical situation. What gives you the best probability? Because we used to punt all the time on fourth down. Like, we hardly ever went for it. Now, if you look at any box score after any game, it's like they go for it 3 or 4 or 5 times in a game, go for it on fourth down. And they do say that it does increase your chances. If you do go for it, it's better to get a first. It's not the worst case if you have a turn the ball over on downs, you let your defense get it, as opposed to, punting it away. But they are way more focused on the analytical aspect of it.
Yeah, we've talked about this a bunch of times on this show, like weighing the balance of an analytics coach versus a guy who just goes from his gut. And I think as a coach, if I were a coach myself, if I had to go down and get beat up one way or the other, I'd rather be going down and getting beaten up with my gut rather than sticking to a notebook and then saying you should have had the guts to make the call.
I like to know it so you have an answer, and I would probably use it in certain circumstances. But you see a lot of teams go for it on fourth down, like on their own 28, 30.
That's how we used to play Madden. Like, I never punted in Madden. I just went. A lot of these guys play like I used to play my video game, where I'm like, I just got confidence that I can get 2 yards right now. And